Hi, I'm Doug Mariani here at Health Up Cafe down in the Strip District of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on GYGS TV doing the Spread the Health show. Today what I want to talk about, a lot of times I just walk in and randomly, okay, what do I want to talk about? Today will also be one of those days, but I really, I go over a lot of times choices and, choosing this instead of that. And, a lot of people, they just don't know, how simple some of the choices and some of the changes in your health can be. They really, aren't difficult and can make a big difference long term. Keep in mind, nothing you do is going to be a night and day solution. Regardless of how in shape you are or out of shape you are, there's nothing you're going to do that's going to, at least ingesting of food, is going to change your life on a split second, unless you're truly allergic to something and something chemically is wrong when you eat that product. But we're talking strictly weight and health and stuff like that. So, don't expect to say, okay, I'm going to switch to wheat products or to gluten-free products and it change your life. It's long-term changes. It's kind of like taking vitamins. I'm going to start taking vitamins tomorrow, but you really don't know if they're working for you or, if there really are benefits to them. Long-term, you could pay attention and be able to say, like food, you eat it, oh, I got an upset stomach or I felt good. Vitamins, things like that, you take them, you don't really know what the effects are. So what you want to do is pay attention on a long-term scale as well. Like I was taking a brand of vitamin for about a year, and honest to God, it was a really good vitamin. I'm not a big believer in vitamins. I think most of it doesn't get absorbed into your body. There are certain brands out there that do actually digest small enough that they get absorbed into your blood cells. So, the bottom line is this. If you find one, pay attention to, have I gotten sick? Am I sluggish? Do I have more energy when I would used to do this? Or do I have less energy? Those are the kind of things on a long-term scale. So it's one thing to say, I'm going to pay attention to my diet, I'm going to pay attention to what I consume today, I'm going to watch my carbs, I'm going to watch my sodium, I'm going to watch these different things for short-term fixes and long-term diet plans. That's all great. But at the end of the line, too, you want to be able to do some physical things to build your stamina, to get your energy levels up. Those are the things that are the big picture change. So, the reality is, if you were going to start a business, you don't say, okay, I'm going to start this business and only think of what's in front of you. You have to plan, the big picture, and it's the same with your diet. So I know that my goal is, to change how I consume and how I feel for the rest of my life. That's what I love. Like we're doing our 90-day transformation. We're about to take our pictures this Saturday. By the way, I want to thank ProSource. They got us all our supplements. They got us everything. Our Nitro Whey, and you can go to prosource.net and find any of these products. But ProSource was, grateful enough to get us for the third run now our Nitro Whey. They got us our Supreme Protein bars. They got us our Zycor, our fat burner. So I want to thank those guys. I want to thank Angle Foods, who Kurt and I are partners in, for allowing us to consume the products of Angle Foods during our transformation and help us at least get the people directed in the right way. So getting back to my point of the 90-day transformation, the 90-day transformation is great. There's a lot of 30-day ones out there. I like the 90-day because, number one, it's more difficult. You're going to separate the people who are serious and the people who are just looking for a fad. The fads, that's what they are. They're fads. It's the 90-day transformation. You have a better chance of those habits changing to where they carry on further and further, longer than 90 days, and that's what we're trying to go after. We're trying to go after lifestyle changes, not quick fixes. A quick fix on your weight is not necessarily going to make you healthier. See, Angle Foods, Health Up Cafe, Get Your Good Stuff, we're all about making lifestyle changes to make you healthier long term. Because let's face it, if you starve yourself of something to lose quick weight on a short term, there's no way in the world that shock to your system, probably okay in the beginning, but to completely shut down everything, your body's going to react in different ways. Where if you make moderate changes, lifestyle changes, your body won't react react as fast, but the changes will be so slight, it'll be a much longer. It'll be forever. To lose weight for 30 days or a week, or there's a lot of them liquid diets that you drink for 10 days or 7 days, and I have people swear by them. Oh, I felt great, I was this, I got rid of all the toxins and blah, 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 blah. That's great, but they all gain their weight right back. They're not making, number one, healthy changes in their life. They're making quick gains or losses in their life, but they're not making long-term gains that are going to make them healthier. Because what happens in those diets is you didn't change any habits. Basically what you did is say, I'm going to sacrifice for a week or 10 days, and I'm going to starve myself, and I'm going to follow this regimented deal, and then when it's done, I got where I wanted to be, or I felt pretty good, so that means I can go back to where I was. And where you were is what got you to where you needed to do that week or 10-day diet. So what we're saying is forget, at least what I'm saying, and again, I'm not a guru, I'm just somebody who has made some lifestyle changes over the last couple of years, and I feel great. I was always, regardless of how much I worked out, I never dieted, I never worried about the nutrition side, I just worked out. And I've mentioned on the show before, you cannot exercise a bad diet. I used to think you could, and I used to believe that you could. True down to my core, I used to think that you could. But as I got older, and I'm 47 years old now, I realized you absolutely cannot. When you're younger, you might burn faster, or some stuff like that, but long run, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. We have an email from Jolie. I watched yesterday. Where are you located again? We're down in the Strip District on 31st and Penn. If you're familiar with the 31st Street Bridge, we're kind of like right at the end on the Penn Avenue side. So you're welcome to stop down. We're here every day. We do the show live at 12:30. Love to have you on the show. I mean, for real, if you're in the neighborhood, please stop by. I'll cook you something up. I'll show you some different things we're doing down here at Angle Foods and at the Heallth Up Cafe. But we would love to get you on firsthand and actually have a conversation with you to where you can get some real responses back. But yeah, stop down anytime, any of y'all. I mean, we're here to help somebody. So the bottom line is, it's lifestyle changes, and I a lot of times resort back to the kids and my kids, and it's so difficult. Honest to God, I mean, I'm not preaching that my kids eat better than anybody. My kids probably eat as bad as everybody else's, if not worse. I mean, like I said, I come from my world of trying to out-exercise bad diets and just eating whatever I wanted to, and I'll just work out harder tomorrow. And as I got older and didn't have the desire to work out as much, then I ate more, and I got a little bit heavier, and then I ate more and worked out less, and then it's a snowball. And before you know it, I'm 270, 275, haven't worked out for a couple of years, and feeling horrible. Not just horrible about my body, and not in a depression, but at a kind of depressed state to where it's hard to get out of. When you get in a down rut, it's so hard to break till you get frustrated or disgusted enough to where you say, okay, I've had enough. Well, guess what? If you're not eating right, if you're unhealthy, if you just need to get some more energy in your life, it is enough now. It's time to get started. Spring is here. The sunshine is out. Get up and start walking. Get that energy. I go home at night too, and I'm tired. I work a long day. My days aren't necessarily all physical days, but I got stress out the wazoo every day. I get chest pains from pressure. I get, not really, but I'm saying that pressure is always here in my world. So if I don't get that extra hour a day to where I can let loose of everything, and honest to God, I go on the treadmill and it just kind of, not the fat melts away, but the stress melts away, because I always allot myself that time that when I go into a gym, I don't care if the world blows up around me. I don't care what else is going on. This is my time, and I get my time in. So we're trying to make long-term changes, not those short, quick fixes. So again, go through your life. Go through what you're dieting, and go through what you do physical. If you're saying, okay, my job, I sit at a desk all day, and, if you really look hard at what you do physical, and I run the kids here, and I run the kids there, and I do this and I do that, start worrying about, did I walk enough when I'm running the kids here, or am I just going from the garage into the car to here, through McDonald's drive-through, which happens very, very often in a lot of people's worlds. We're late, so I'm going to drive through McDonald's drive-through. I'm going to get me McDonald's. I'm going to get my kids McDonald's. I'm going to get them to the field. I'm going to get out of my car, sit on the bleachers and watch them, or drive my other kids somewhere else, never get out of the car, drop one here, drop one there, drive back through, pick up, back to McDonald's because we're running late because there's no time for food, and I didn't have a chance to cook, and the kids are hungry, so another round to McDonald's. That's a lot of people's lifestyle. A lot of people's lifestyle. If you put a little planning involved and you're looking at your day and you're saying, okay, I work and I'm going to get home at this time, you can maybe prep your food the night before, or even if you don't prep, plan the night before. Instead of flying by the seat of your pants, plan what you're going to do. Plan that, okay, my diet tomorrow, or my family's diet program tomorrow, we're going to eat this, 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 and this. You know, instead of being behind the schedule of running to McDonald's, maybe you have some type of food, and I'll use the Angle food as a reference only because it's what I know, and it was built for convenience and to be healthy. You know, there are products out there you could have done in the same amount of time. Keep in mind that it takes to go through McDonald's window. You know, I know our Angle entrees are 4 minutes in the microwave. The pizzas are about 8 to 10 minutes in the oven. You know, and I'm not saying that. I mean, by the way, you can go to kurtanglefoods.com and order any of it you like. But I'm not here to just push that. You know, you can go and find the leaner cuisines. Just read the labels. You know, make sure the sodium, the different things like that. There's a lot of quick, convenient foods. What I started eating, and you know, I looked at them. The carbs are a little higher than the protein, but there's fiber that's going to bring them back. I actually last night and last couple evenings I took chickpeas, a can of chickpeas, a real quick fix. You know, I was starving. I eat half a can of chickpeas. There's 7 grams of protein for every portion, and there's 20 grams of carbs, but 20 of those carbs are fiber, so there's really 13. You know, another quick fix is, you know, just for a snack is peanut butter. I like the crunchy peanut butter. There's 7 grams of protein and 7 grams of carbs, so protein and carbs are 1 to 1. You know, and what nice thing about peanut butter, it'll fill your stomach. So now, if your kids are going to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, pay attention to the jelly. Try and get them to eat wheat bread instead of white bread if you can. Now, my kids are pain in the asses, so they will not. But I try and do the peanut butter. My daughter will eat peanut butter by itself. And even though the white bread, I can't get her switched over yet, I'm trying. I'm working on it. So it's small changes. Rather than eating a bagel with cream cheese, which my daughter loves, if you're eating a bagel with eggs, if they won't switch the type of bagel because they're being stubborn, gradually try and switch them, but don't give them the cream cheese, give them the eggs, or try and switch the eggs to egg whites. So you can make some moderate changes, not just in your kids' life, but in your own life. Bottom line is, it's moderate. It's lifestyle changes. It's not a quick fix. Spring is here, summer's coming, we're all going to want to lose quick weight, and a lot of us are going to do quick diets, and that's okay. That I'm not knocking against a quick 7-day or two-week diet. What I'm saying is, have a game plan for when that diet's over, because they all work. Every diet works, every exercise program works compared to doing nothing. But once you get that 7-day or 10-day diet done, and you go right back to where you were, what's going to happen? A lot of times you gain back twice what you lost, because you kind of go overboard. I just starved myself and sacrificed myself, so now I'm going to go binge. And now I go binge, and then the first day I go on the scale, well, I didn't gain any weight back, so I'm going to go binge again. Before you know it, you're back to where you were and then some. And I know anybody out there that struggles with weight knows what I'm saying. I know you can feel what I'm saying, because I deal with that every day. Again, I'm a non-stop eater. It's so difficult for me to sit around and not eat. But I do find if I go do something physical in the evenings, it definitely carves down what I eat, because number one, I'm consuming time instead of food. If I sat down from 6 o'clock in the evening till 10 o'clock at night, probably 2 hours of that I'm stuffing my face. But if I had from 6 o'clock in the evening till 10 o'clock at night, and an hour and a half to 2 hours of that, I went to the Y for an hour, or I went and walked for an hour, and my travel time there and back was a little bit of time. By the time I ate or did this or did that cut my eating time a lot of ways. Now, instead of eating for 2 hours straight, maybe I eat for half an hour. And I don't eat as much, and I eat healthier because I just worked out. So, I mean, that's, you know, it's moderate changes. Again, I'm not knocking against quick fix diets, but have a game plan when the diet is done. That's why I like the long changes, the long-term changes, because your game plan is one different item every day or 3 different items every week, however you want to do it. Like I said, when you write down everything you're consuming and you realize what you're consuming, then you put your game plan together. So once you realize, holy, I didn't realize I was taking in this many carbs. So instead of working on the whole diet and changing your whole life, work on carbs first, or fats first, or getting your proteins up first. Here's a perfect thing, and that just hit me as I said proteins first. Look at your diet, and before you do anything, add more food, not less. But add the food you add all protein. That would be a great start to a beginning of lifestyle changes in your life to make you healthier. So I look at my diet and I go, oh man, I'm taking in 5,000 calories and I'm eating 300 carbs and I'm eating 150 grams of fat and I'm taking in 80 grams of protein. So I look at that and I'm completely upside down with everything. And I'm not saying these were what I was doing. I'm saying just using a hypothetical. So you look at that and you say, okay, I don't want to starve myself. I don't want to give this up. I don't want to give that up. And on yesterday's show, what I talked about, a volume in your stomach. So in taking all those calories and all that stuff, and your stomach's full, you're always full, you're never hungry, you think you're happy because you're always full, blah, blah, great. But you're sluggish, you don't have the motivation, you get tired real fast, your belly's so big you can't bend over and tie your shoes, and I know a lot of you out there know what I'm talking about, and I've been there. So now you're not necessarily where you want to be. So you look at that and you say, okay, I don't want to take away anything because I love to eat. I'm going to add more food. Listen to Doug, as goofy as he is, and as some of the Martins out there think I have no clue what I'm talking about, which is okay by me, but look at it this way. Now I'm going to add more food because I'm not worried about losing weight in a week. I'm not worried about losing weight in 2 weeks. I'm worried about making myself healthier a little bit more every day for the rest of my life. So I have a long time. I have a lot of time to work on it. So I'm going to then say, okay, I'm going to add 200 grams of protein or 150 grams of protein. When you add that protein, you're going to add volume to what you're intaking. So immediately by adding all that more protein and paying attention to it, you're going to be full, so you're going to have no choice but to cut down on some other things because you're going to be full and you won't be able to fit that second dessert in or fit that 9th piece of bread in. You won't have the volume, the stomach volume for that. From Jason, our Angle Foods products should replace with regular foods, or should you eat them in moderation? The Angle Foods are regular foods. The difference is we've actually made them more healthy structure so they digest better and things like that. But we're using chicken and rice. I just infuse the gravy that makes it healthier. We're using chicken and vegetables and our pizzas obviously. So yeah, you can eat it every day. You can replace regular food, or what I tell a lot of people, because again, I'm not trying to jam anything down your throat. What I tell a lot of people is if Angle Foods does nothing else for you but get you in the right direction, because then you say, okay, Angle Foods is chicken and rice and chicken and broccoli and chicken and this, there's some great, but now you're going to learn how to shop too. Well, I don't want a frozen meal today, but I know chicken and broccoli is not bad for you. It's in the Angle meals. You know what I mean? I know that a wheat crust pizza or a infused healthier pizza crust isn't as bad for you because that's what the Angle Foods does. So we're going to educate you whether you only use our food or whether you use our food for a guideline on what to shop for yourself, how to prepare for yourself. Either way, it's okay by me. I mean, I'm about selling you Angle Foods, but I'm more about helping you get healthy. So the bottom line is that long-term changes is what matters. The volume in your stomach, like I was saying, and thank you for the question, but like I was saying before I answered the question, if I added 150 grams of protein from 80 a day in my diet, that's chicken breast, that's the chickpeas have a good protein in it, that's fish, you're talking protein shakes, protein bars, if I looked at that, or forget the protein bars, just the pure protein shakes, using the nitro away from ProSource, using the Angle Foods meals, or just grilled chicken breasts. Like today I have pre-cooked chicken breasts. I threw 2 in the microwave. I ate them right before the show. That that alone is about 50 grams of protein with almost zero fat, no carbs. I put some volume in my stomach. So the bottom line is, am I still hungry? Yeah, but if I ate those and had time to eat more, like let's say I was eating regular food all the time, but I shoved all that protein in my body, I wouldn't be able to fit as many breadsticks at the Olive Garden if I just consumed protein with my meal. So instead, like I said, instead of eating the 9th breadstick, you have to stop at 4. So right off the bat, by adding more food, proper food, it's going to force you to cut down some of the other foods. Unless you're just straight up a hog, which I am, and I'm not knocking anybody, but I am. I could keep eating, but sooner or later you get full and you stop. Then once you get your protein where it's at, that's the first stage, this is just one hypothetical scenario. You get your protein up and you get some of your volume in your belly up, and now you say, okay, what's my next step? What's probably the worst thing? I was successful at adding the protein. It made a difference, but I'm still big, and my belly's still swelled, and I'm not losing any girth because I'm still shoving food in my mouth. Just a little bit different. So now what do I do? Okay, now let me start paying attention to the carbs, the fats, the sodiums. Honestly, I would probably worry about this. And this is just my opinion, nobody else's. Unless you have a problem, then you have to cut sodium. I would probably worry about that last, only because you can lose the water weight pretty quick. Sodium is going to make you retain. Again, unless you have a medical condition that your doctor's telling you need to cut your sodium, I think the carbs, and I'm talking about strictly for losing weight and getting healthy, I think the carbs and the fats, for me personally, would be the next step. One of those, not both, one of them. Then I would look at which one am I taking the most in of. Probably it's going to be carbs, because carbs are in freaking everything. So now I've built my protein up, I'm paying attention to my carbs. Now I start saying, okay, I'm up to 200 grams of protein, but I'm still taking in 350 grams of carbs a day. I know that's my next step. So now my next goal is going to be, I'm going to start paying attention to my carbs and bringing that carb level down. Even if you don't get it down to 65% of your protein, but get it down to 1-to-1, you'd still be much better off than you are right now. Email from James: now that my back is fixed, I want to work on cardio. I have bad knees, but what would you suggest for that? As far as, what's it say?
What would I have bad knees?
Suggest for that?
Suggest for that and food intake.
Oh, and food intake. I think you said you weighed like 250, James, if I remember correctly, or 240 or 250. What I would do is, first things first, just like I'm saying today, get your protein up to one gram of protein for every pound of body weight. So if you weigh 250, James, eat 250 grams of protein a day. That's number one, immediately on the food side. Okay? On the cardio side, you have to try a couple different things. And you may have already. You have to, number one, try walking on a treadmill, see if it hurts. Try the sit-down bike, see if it hurts. Like the sit-up bike, see if it hurts. Try the sit-down bike where your legs are in front of you, see if that hurts. Jumping rope would be out of the question because you have bad knees. Try the stepper. Try, at least for 5 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes, not all on the same day. Try one day this, one day this, one day this, one day this. Work on your cardio that it's going to strengthen your knees first and not beat them up. Whatever one doesn't hurt when you're done doing it or while you're doing it, then stick with that one until your knees start to get stronger. Don't worry about weight lifting. Don't worry about any of that. You got your back going, continue to go with your back. Let's get your knees to where they can support what you want to do. Keep in mind, James, you are actually doing it exactly the way I would recommend. Because first you have to look at your body, just like we're looking at your diet, you have to look at your physicality as well and your limitations as well. So James knew he had a back limitation which prevented him from doing almost everything. He knows he's got a knee limitation which prevents him from doing almost everything. So the first things first, you can't go out and go do all this weight training and cardio and all that stuff. You're too limited. So first you have to fix your what's bothering you. You have to get those fixed to be able to move forward properly. Same with the diet. Same with the diet. I'm so glad you brought that up today, what you're looking to do, because it's exactly the perfect scenario. You're over here fixing your physical end of it. Now we say, okay, and I'm telling you the same thing on the diet. Look at your diet. diet. Start by bringing them protein up. If you're 250, get that protein up to 250. Don't worry about nothing else yet. Because if you're consuming 250 grams of protein a day, your volume is not going to allow you, again, to eat that 9th breadstick or that second dessert. You're going to be full from the protein. So that's going to force some of the other issues, for some of the other problems to fall into place. Once you get your protein there, then let's look at your carbs. Try and get your carbs down as the next step. Then pay attention to your fats. Get that all into the level. Again, mine is 100% protein. 65% of what protein you intake should be carbs. 50% of that of the protein intake should be fats. Sodium should be about 1,800 to 2,200 milligrams a day. If you follow that rule of thumb, and I know there's other increments of food, but if you follow those basics and can get your diet to that basic analogy, you're going to be good regardless of what you weigh. Then when you get there is when you start tweaking. Okay, I've lost 100 pounds, I'm starting to feel good, you know what I mean, now I want to start shaping and tweaking and this and really fine tuning. Then you fine tune from there. But you can live a very healthy life every day on the scenario I just said. 100% protein, 65% of that carbs, 50% fats, about 30 grams of fiber a day, and about 1,800 to 2,200 milligrams of sodium a day. You'd live very healthy, very long, not really gaining weight, able to do anything physical unless you had a physical restriction. You know, so I mean that's what we're looking to do. You got to start. James, it's excellent. You started with your back. Now you're moving to your knees. If those are your two biggest problem spots, once your knees are feeling good, now you can start. But you know what? If you never started with your back, you didn't stand a chance of moving forward. If you never start writing down your food, your intake, you don't stand a chance of moving forward. You know, one other nice thing Angle Foods is launching, we're going to be launching our 12-inch pizzas. We've always just done 7-inch. We're working on getting these into the actual retail stores. The nice thing is these will feed, you know, solid 4 people. Same stuff that's in the 7-inch, we're just making them into 12-inch. We're going to be doing some different flavors. We're adding a pepperoni pizza, pepperoni and sausage, and we're also going to do our cheese as well. These are not available yet online. We're working on getting them into some of the larger retail stores. Don't forget, you can go to the new and improved Get Your Good Stuff website. It'll be live tomorrow. It's getyourgoodstuff.com. One big thing JD and I are working on now, it's off the Heallth a little bit, but we're putting together, you know, the first ever internet mall, and we've probably got about 15 stores already. We're going to get to 500 stores. What we're doing is we're actually going to help small business people who are trying to launch a product or have launched a product. You know, they're door to door in it, they're working their butt off like we do here and like we've done for so many years, but they just don't have the internet capability, or they have a little bit of internet capability, and you know, they just can't get the internet, their online sales going to where it's, you know, it might be profitable but not enough involved to where it's worthwhile. It's more of a headache. So we want to be able to come in, build your website, get you into our shopping mall at no charge, you know, bring your products in, ship. We do all the picking and shipping. We help promote your brand. We get you in front of our access to our 4.9 million viewers, which is going to be through our larger network. We build you commercials, we do banners, we do all kind of stuff for nothing, just because you partake in the mall. We'll do all your picking and shipping for you. So anybody has a little product, any kind of project you're working on. My dad's doing a line of gluten-free cookies. My buddy's doing a line of coffee beans. I got a couple people working on candy stores and gift basket stores, and you know, of course, our Angle Foods and our Health Up Cafe store will be pushing, you know, moving our super spices. Salman, hello, buddy. Glad you joined in. JD told me you were a little bit late logging in yesterday, and you missed us, but we appreciate you tuning in. You know, Solomon is a very big inspiration, if you don't mind me saying. I mean, talking about it, I mean, he started at 538 pounds, and so far he's lost 116 pounds. So the bottom line is he had to start somewhere, and wherever he started, and it's a long-term change. Now, take somebody like Solomon and say, okay, I'm going to do a quick fix week diet, and it's going to change my life. No, it's not. He had to realize that I've got to make some lifestyle changes, because the way that the snowball rolled to get me to here this much weight, the snowball got to roll the same speed and same time. You know, if you were 15 years old and started eating heavy, and you're 35 years old and you're 400 pounds, it took you 20 years to get from your 15-year-old weight to 400 pounds. It's not going to get you back to that weight in two weeks. It's going to take you to 20 years to get back there. You know, now it might not take you that long, but it's going to take you years. It's not going to take you weeks. So you got to put it in your head, plan your seed, you know, plan your game plan, plan longevities. There's times where what I do is I eat nothing but protein for 3 days to kickstart something. But I have my game plan as soon as the 3 days is up, because I'm starving myself. I'm not saying to do that because it's totally unhealthy for you. You know what I mean? But what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to give my 3 days of just protein. No, it's not going to be necessarily great for my body. I'm going to feel different because I'm only ingesting protein. But I have my game plan that when I start back after the 3 days, I'm going to start with fruit. I'm going to start with protein shakes. I'm going to watch my sugars. I'm going to watch all my carbs, and I'm going to slowly, gradually add some of the healthier items back into my diet. And that'll give you a quick burst. But the reality is, you need long-term changes. I don't recommend doing what I just told you with the 3 days of protein, unless you're going for a contest, or you're trying to lose a couple pounds for a wedding or something like that. That's one thing, but you're going to gain it right back. If I just eat protein for 3 days and I flush my body and then I go right back to what I was eating before, which was all wrong, what good did it do? I just lost 3 days. You know, but if the long-term plan works and you're making moderate changes, starting with paying attention to your diet, that's what you want to do. You know, the bottom line is this: it starts with you. It starts with you being inspired over one thing or another. Look at it this way: a lot of times, you know, and I've been through 2 divorces. I'm on my 3rd marriage. My wife I've been with for 15 years. I love my wife. I'm in love with my wife. So, but when you go through a divorce, all of a sudden, you know, most people when they get divorced, they're out of shape. You know, they're no self-esteem. They've been in a rut for a long time. But then you go through a divorce, and all of a sudden, that person's getting in shape. They're looking good again. They're paying attention to themselves again. Why did it take a divorce for you to do that? Why did it take something drastic for you to do that? You need to pay attention to yourself first, just like the oxygen mask in the plane. Take care of yourself first, then take care of everybody else. Get yourself healthy first. It'll trickle down to everybody else. If you're eating healthy, you're going to only make people that aren't eating healthy around you feel guilty to where they're going to start, or you're going to make new friends who don't eat all the garbage because it's too much of enticement for you to want to eat unhealthy. But the bottom line is this: you have to start. It's up to you and only you. Nobody can make anybody else diet. Nobody can make anybody else be healthy. I don't care what you're doing, what they're kicking you in the ass, what they're pumping into you, what they're doing, whatever. They cannot make you get up and exercise. And they cannot make you put something healthy into your body. Only you can do that. So, on behalf of Solman, God bless you, number 1. Keep going, number 2. We're behind you. Just get to your goal weight. Know that it's going to take a long time, which you already know. Get your cardio going. Find products that are going to help you not be hungry, keep you full, but are healthy for you. So, here today, did I run long a little bit, JD?
3 over it.
3 over, okay. I apologize for running a little bit long, but you know what? I'm trying to learn more and more every day so that I can bring you more knowledge. Give me some feedback. If anybody's in the Strip District of Pittsburgh, stop down. We're at 3100 Penn Avenue. Call the number at the bottom of the screen, JD. Is the number at the bottom of the screen?
Oh, yes.
Number's at the bottom of the screen. You're welcome to call. We're looking forward to hearing from you. We'll be here tomorrow at 12:30. Thanks for tuning in. I'm looking forward to it.